Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus in runs. I just noticed it showed we have 0 wins in a row, and if you watch the end of the last video, you'll see why. Because we did win, technically. But it was an interesting ending. We touched the final chest as we were dying from Plan C. It was unintentionally hilarious. So this run we have a monster manual, which is kind of trash. Though we did get ball of bandages, which can't complain about that. But it's only for this room. Not a whole lot of use to us in the long run. But Acid Baby, I like. Sometimes. I'm happy to take pills. I like taking pills. There are some bad ones, yes. So it depends what pills we get in our rotation today, whether or not Acid Baby is going to work out for us. Ah, got trapped. Other than that, we got bad tears, decent damage. We already got a speed upgrade. Luck, not great. Wow, that's the best Horf I've ever done. That's what she said. Alright, well, let's see how this run goes. I think today we're going to have a little discussion about something on my mind. And that is last night's Game of Thrones episode, Season 7, Episode 5. Season 7? We in Season 7? I can't... Okay. I can't remember if that's Pisces or Gemini. I get it mixed up all the time. Anyway... Game of Thrones is a show that is near and dear to my heart, as it is many people's hearts. You know, I've read the books, watched the show, kept up with every episode as it's live. I read the subreddits, get all the discussion, all the theories, and everything else. And yeah, it's a big part of my entertainment consumption life, I would say. And so last night was season 7, episode 5, Eastwatch. So we're going to talk about it. If you are someone who watches the show and you haven't watched it yet, you probably just have to skip this episode. Or just mute it. Mute it and watch me run along and hopefully pull out a win. Second secret room. Alright. So Eastwatch last night. Well, really, I mean, the coolest thing about this episode was the end. We'll get there. Where did it start out, though? We'll start out with Bronn pulling Jaime out of the river. Sorry, this is the next day as I'm discussing this, so my memory's a little hazy because I pretty much just woke up. But Bronn pulls Jaime out of the river, which I figured would happen. You know, after the previous week's episode, my buddy Zorg was like, "Do you think Jaime's dead?" I'm like, "No, he's not dead. He's definitely not dead." What trinket do we have? We had something. Anyway. So yeah, we knew Jaime wasn't dead, and you know, Bronn's like, "Why'd you do it?" Just had the opportunity, you know, whatever. I don't know. Not really care about that scene. But then we saw... This isn't going to be in chronological order or anything, because I'm just going off of memory what I remember about everything. I don't know, all I can think about is the end and how cool it was. One thing we did see was Littlefinger and Arya having a little suspicions of each other and trying to play each other and whatnot. And it looked like Arya was playing Littlefinger, but in actuality, Littlefinger played her. So in the previous episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, there was a comment about how Maester Luwin kept copies of every Raven scroll ever sent to Winterfell. And Littlefinger gave a little glance to the side because this is actually concerning for him, because he has sent ravens to Winterfell, or a raven to Winterfell, that was not truthful, was deceitful, and if it was discovered, the Starks would be very upset with him. What the contents of the message was, I don't recall. Was it... I don't remember. I don't remember what that message was. But there's a message that he sent that if it was discovered today by the current Stark family in Winterfell, they would be very displeased with Littlefinger. So you see Littlefinger... No keys. You see Littlefinger shadily talking to some people with Arya looking on. And it seems like he doesn't see Arya there. And he pays someone and says, Lady Sansa thanks you for your service. And then he hides the letter somewhere in his room. And so Arya goes in there and finds the letter. And turns out it's a letter from Sansa when she was in King's Landing, telling Robb to come bend the knee and give up his war and that kind of thing. Now that letter was written under distress, but taken out of context, Arya could think that Sansa was betraying the Stark family, didn't have their best interests at heart, that kind of thing. So Littlefinger wanted her to find that message. Now a lot of people originally thought that the message she was going to find, that Littlefinger was trying to hide his message that would, you know, get him in trouble. That's not the case. He tricked her.
Infested.
We can just do this. Build up supplies. Alright. So Littlefinger's still scheming, still plotting. But I have a feeling that's not going to last long. The Starks are going to figure him out. Going to be shown for what he really is. Then we have Dany after the battle where Drogon destroyed part of the Lannister army. Just absolutely murderized thousands of men. And trying to get everyone to bend the knee. Which in my opinion is not the right way to do it. Which, you know, she was advised. They were like, hey, the lords of Westeros won't bend the knee if you're coming in and conquering with dragons and foreign armies and that stuff. Why would they bend the knee to you? And she's like, they'll bend the knee or die. And then that's the path she chose. She told the Tarleys, Sam's parents, or Sam's dad and brother, bend the knee, you know, and they refused, naturally. So she roasted them. Toasted and roasted. You know, and it was the decision she made, but I don't know if it was the right one. Not to win over the people of Westeros. I mean, everyone else quickly bent the knee after that because they didn't want to be burned alive. So now they're sworn to her out of fear, not loyalty, you know? Yeah, we'll take the soul. Then you have Dany returning to Dragonstone on Drogon, flying right up to Jon. And Jon's like, what's up, dragon? And Drogon's like, hey, bud. Like, what? So Drogon immediately, like, trusts Jon. Why is that? Well, A, Jon is a Targaryen by blood. B, Jon was revived by fire and blood magic, just like Drogon came to life through fire and blood magic. And C, which is something I don't really cover in the show, Jon is a warg, which means he can go into animals' minds and, you know, control them or have some sort of affinity with them. And I think this is kind of implicated in the show, just the way, I don't know, you can look at it two ways. When he starts petting him, oh, we got blue cap tier delay modifier. We got a 4 tier rate. Anyway, when he starts touching Drogon, you see Drogon close and open his eyes twice, which when like Bran or Orel, the wildling that had the wildling that was a warg. Anytime you go into an animal, the animal like closes and reopens its eyes, and when you go out, it closes and reopens its eyes. And I believe, I may be mistaken, but I believe Drogon closed his eyes and reopened them twice, which possibly could mean that Jon was warged inside of him for just a moment. And that could be why he kind of, Drogon was calm around him. Possibly. But, like I said, Jon is a Targaryen, and now we know he's actually an official Targaryen, not a bastard Targaryen. We went in Old Town, Gilly's reading from a book, and she talks about annulment. And she starts to read the passage, and Sam cuts her off. She says, Rhaegar Targaryen had an annulment. I don't remember where she cut off the line. But in Dorne, so that's where the Tower of Joy is. Tower of Joy, the scene where Bran flashed back to, where Ned and Howland Reed and the other people were fighting Kingsguard members. And then Lyanna died after giving birth to Jon. That was in the Tower of Joy in Dorne. So she's reading and says that in Dorne, this maester or whoever annulled a marriage for Rhaegar Targaryen, which means he annulled the marriage to Elia Martell so that he could get married to Lyanna Stark. And the Kingsguard being the Tower of Joy means that the baby there is actually a prince. They are guarding part of the royal family. Well, the prince's son. Rhaegar was the prince. And then back in the scene where a couple seasons ago, where Lyanna did tell Ned, you know, take care of my boy, promise me, Ned. She whispers the name, and it sounded and looked like she said Aemon or Aegon. That's Jon's true name, which is a Targaryen name. I think we don't need anything else on this floor. So the fact that, I mean, Jon's actual name is either Aemon or Aegon Targaryen, and they were married, Rhaegar and Lyanna, in a secret ceremony somewhere. So he's officially Targaryen and Dany's nephew. So what does it mean? Well, does he have a claim to the throne? I guess, but how does this come into play? Because, I mean, Jon's not looking to take the throne of the Seven Kingdoms. That's not his goal. He never wanted to be anything like that. But I guess if, you know, any other claimants to the throne die, he has a legitimate claim. If that role is somehow forced upon him, you know, they could convince the people or whatever, saying, look, he's actually Rhaegar Targaryen's son, legitimate son. So he's a legitimate claimant to the throne. Just like when Robert Baratheon took the throne, he did it because, well, he had, I don't know. He had connections to the Targaryen bloodline through aunts and uncles and grandparents and whatever. And so when all the Targaryens were gone, he's like, well, okay, I'm the next closest thing. So, don't know how or why it'll come into play, but the knowledge is out there somewhere. It was in a book, which Sam then gave to the little son. I forgot the little baby's name. Gave the book to the son, and assumingly that book got packed up with them when they left. So Sam is carrying the book with that knowledge with him wherever he's going. So probably at some point he will read that book and discover it. Discover the truth. Again, what end result that'll have, we don't know. Maybe just the fact that Jon is a Targaryen will come to life. Much better, much better. Not sure. Let's take this black rune here. We have black rune. So many think and speculate that Jon will end up riding one of the dragons. We bombed in the secret room this way, right? Yeah. So we can bomb our way into the shop. Even though we have a key now, but I'd rather save the key. Yeah. I mean, that really only helps us with one item room, but might as well. So yeah, the secret of Jon's parentage is out there. We don't know the truth, the actual truth, that he's not just that he's Rhaegar's son, but he's Rhaegar's legitimate son through a secret marriage. And then we have what else happened? Besides the group going to Eastwatch, I'm trying to think of what else happened. Oh, well, I mean, just the going to pick up Gendry in Flea Bottom, King's Landing. That was we got a Perth row? No, Degas. Yeah, we'll do that. So Davos goes to find Gendry. We thought he'd been rowing for the past 3 or 4 seasons. Guess we hadn't seen him since he got sent away in a rowboat from Dragonstone. But Davos found him. Even my girlfriend watching, she's like, who is that? I'm like, that's Gendry. She's like, who's Gendry? Like, okay, well, we haven't seen him in years, and he's got a haircut, but it's you know, it's Gendry. So it was very cool to see him back, and all of a sudden he is a badass warrior, and oh, the Warhammer. You know, that's what Robert Baratheon, Gendry's father, Gendry's one of Robert Baratheon's bastards. That was his father's weapon, was a Warhammer. And so in the promos for this season, it shows like the group fighting together north of the wall in a circle, and now we know who's in that group. That was the end of the episode, was them all traveling north of the wall. And people had speculated from the screenshots when they were in the circle. They're like, oh, it looks like one of those characters has a Warhammer. That's probably Gendry. Like, how do people notice these things and speculate these things? I mean, it was kind of speculated that Gendry was back in the show. I mean, he was seen on set and stuff. But people noticed that detail and was like, oh, yeah, it's going to be Gendry north of the wall. And they were right. But it's kind of crazy. I didn't expect that to happen. And then Jorah coming back to Dany. That was almost made me well up a little bit. Seeing them together again. And he was like, hi. I'm going now, bye. Like, kind of sucked, but it was cool to see them, a little reunion. crazy, you know, reunion scenes can be great in movies and TV. I mean, they haven't seen each other for, I mean, well, series-wise, they haven't been together for a couple of years. I mean, especially, you know, like the Stark children reunion, too. Like, those are crazy. Because it's been so long since they've been together. Blow you guys up here. A coupon, huh? Let's see if we can make use of this in the shop. Yeah. So then you have John, Jorah, Gendry heading towards the wall. And then you get there and, you know, of course we already knew that. That's the moving box. I want Buddy in a box. We already knew that Tormund was there. And then they get to Eastwatch, and not only is Tormund there, but he has some visitors in his cell. He's got Beric Dondarrion, the Hound, and Thoros of Myr. I guess they had, not I guess, but they had previously, the Hound had saw in the flames. I don't want these. The Hound saw in the flames that, well, let's Black Rune that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, we can't buy a card now. Well, we'll look for a good card to carry along with us. Anyway, the Hound had seen in the flames that his fate was in Eastwatch. Or that he had to go to Eastwatch. So that's where they headed. So now we have Jon Snow, Gendry, which their little bromance. You know, they're like, oh yeah, our bastard fathers fought together. You know, and we're best friends and blah blah blah, and they won battles together. So let's go do the same. Thought that was pretty cool. I never really thought about the two of them together like that, and I like it. And then Tormund. Yeah, the Hound, Beric, and Thoros. And am I forgetting someone? Anyway, you have 7 of, well, okay, I wouldn't say all 7 of them are the best fighters in the realm, because like Gendry, like who's actually seen him in battle, you know? But 7 of the coolest badasses in the 7 kingdoms. Oh, Jorah was the other one, which he's old, but he was one of the, you know, top 5, top 10 knights in Westeros from a battle point before he got himself shipped off, exiled from the slave trading. Which, you know, that's his bad. I guess we could have blank carded Awas. Will you quit shooting lasers in my face, please? I know I haven't been using blank card yet. I used some runes when I could have just, like, used the blank card on him. It's because I'm not really paying attention. I'm just kind of talking. But anyway, 7 of the top fighters in the realm going north of the wall, going into battle together to fight the White Walkers. Well, to capture a White Walker. It's pretty cool. I was kind of hoping that like Brienne would be part of that group too, and so was Tormund. Said, "Did you bring the tall woman?" Pretty great. So what's next, you know? if you saw the episode preview, there was a lot of them running away from White Walkers or Whites. So I mean, the goal is to capture one. Capture one and bring it to King's Landing to convince Cersei to join them in the battle against the White Walkers. Who knows if that'll happen? We'll see. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, another reunion. Tyrion and Jaime. Not a very happy reunion. But Jaime didn't kill him, so there's that. And then Cersei asked Jaime to kill Bronn for betraying him. Whatever, Cersei. So I don't know. In the books, when Jaime and Tyrion parted ways. Oh, I just killed my own guys. They parted the ways on good terms, whereas in the show, not so much. Of course, that was also before Tyrion started serving Daenerys, so who knows how that will affect their relationship in the books, you know? So, next episode, yeah, you see them running away a lot from the Whites. I mean, that's pretty much the whole preview was them getting together, get ready to fight, and running away a lot. It seemed like. Running into battle and then running away from battle. We could do Hush, but I don't really want to. Fine. You talked me into it. Always check here first in case there's a diplopia. Yeah, we could take the broken mirror. I suppose I should have Yara the chests. Not that I had enough keys. Well, I guess I did have enough keys. I meant to just blow that up. Alright. So we could take Book of Shadows for the fight, but that doesn't really provide us much invincibility. Not long enough. We could take the candle for the fight. Just for the fight. We'll come back for blank card. Demon Baby will help us out a little more. We don't have the best build for this. And, you know, actually my reflection is probably a bad item because it hurts our range. Yeah, this is already not going well. I'm stuck on Hush. This has not gone well so far. What is... Oh, I have the soul. Haha, I forgot. That's good. I can't see what's going on. So, I assume that they will capture a white and get it down to King's Landing. But I don't know if everyone will survive the fight. I think the Hound will survive. Because I think that he will go to King's Landing and see zombie Gregor. Obviously, Jon Snow's going to survive. Jorah maybe won't make it. But if he wasn't going to make it, maybe they would have a more significant goodbye with him and Danny. There's like, oh yeah, we say goodbye a lot. Maybe, I don't know. And so Thoros and Barrick, I think, are both kind of expendable at this point in the narrative. I don't think they have anything else to do, really. Yeah, so I think one of them is a possibility for death. Is that, oh, and Gendry. It would be a shame to bring Gendry back just to kill him an episode later. But, you know, it is Game of Thrones, so it's possible. This is turning bad. I think we can still make it, though. Whoa! That was a close one. Oh, not this shit again. Alright, we did it. Whew. That was a close one. We're going to take our blank card. We have our blank card, Yara. I'm going to buy these. There were no tinted rocks, right? Oftentimes there's a tinted rock in one of these rooms. Not today. Alright, well, we got a tough cathedral ahead of us. So what else? Sam? I don't know where Sam's going. Maybe Winterfell, I guess? Then you have... So... Arya's gonna maybe be upset with Sansa regarding this letter that she found. But I think they will clear that up. I don't think it's gonna... There might be a little bit of tension. But I think ultimately it'll resolve itself. I think we gotta roll Satanic Bible for a bit here. At least for the floor. Roll Satanic Bible for the floor to build our health back up. Then come back for blank card so we can take blank card Yara to the chest. Although we don't have keys. So the blank card Yara is going to be problematic. Oh, we can't black ruin that stuff. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take blank card. We're going to black rune all this stuff. And we're going to try and find some keys and double keys the rest of this floor. Yeah, so I'm not sure where... I assume Sam is heading for Winterfell. Or the Wall. The Maesters did mention about him, his brother and father being killed, and that they weren't going to tell him about it. So I don't know if he'll find out that information along the way somewhere. And then... Oh yeah, I was talking about the Starks. Yeah, I don't think the Stark girls will be at each other's throats for long. No keys. Come on, give me a key. In fact, I think if anything happens in Winterfell, it'll be Littlefinger being exposed. Not exposing himself. Although it's something he might do, because he's creepy. And, you know, maybe that's the end of his storyline. No keys still. Might as well take the ticket at this point. I hope I don't come across a better trinket now. Are there any other storylines anymore? It's all starting to kind of go down. It's getting whittled down into just a couple storylines. Or one main storyline, really. Ah, no keys. Where's the secret room? Well, that's unfortunate. Well, this fight's going better than the Hush fight for sure. Alright. Well, we can double our chests, but we can only open 3 right now, so. Maybe we can find a key drop on this floor. We will double the chests one more time, then start opening them, and then if we come across any keys, we can start doubling keys. Check for a secret room. Great. Hey, there's a key. Perfect. Sierra. No batteries on the ground. We have tarot decks, so we get doubling. Get one more doubling here. So I think I covered most everything from last night's episode. I don't know. If you enjoy listening to me talk about this stuff, let me know in the comments. Or if you hated it, or if I just spoiled everything for you. You know, just let me know how you feel about it. Let's see here. Celtic Cross, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Parasite, that's fun. I'm not going to use the D100. We did that last run. Well, we took, you know, Missing No. We had an absolute one run with Brimstone Tech X. And I decided to make it fun and take Missing No. I did take Firemind, which I knew would cause me to take damage. But, you know, I like to live dangerously. No reason not to take Nod Leaf. Yeah, we can take you too. Alright, well, we just gotta try and limit the damage we take from ourselves, which might be difficult. Which means we have to shoot from a little further away, which hurts our proptosis bonus. Hey! Now we can get some more stuff. Anti-grav? I think I'll pass on that one. We got 48-hour energy. Oh, maybe I should take anti-grav. Yeah, it's a tier delay modifier, so. Yeah. We could take the iron bar for damage, but it's going to be an insignificant increase. Oh well. I'm not going to mess around anymore. Alright. This is pretty cool, actually. Oh. That's nice. Okay, well. Okay. 4.6 damage soy milk. This is actually terrible. Thought it might be kind of cool. Well, it's doing alright. Okay. Soy milk proptosis is a really bad synergy. So now we do have to get even closer, and those fire mine shots are going to hit us. Alright, we might die. We can go back and check those runes. Hopefully Degas. Ooh, that would have been nice for the final fight. Per throw. Alright, let's do a reroll. Nope. Just something that gives me a little bit more survivability. Actually, that might do it. Yep. Now Fire Mine won't affect us. Look at that. This is actually kind of disgusting. Melting him. The closer we get, the more damage it's gonna do. Alright. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around in the video and listening to me discuss Game of Thrones. Appreciate you being here as always. Make sure you're subscribed to see more videos. And like and share with your friends so we can get more people and get this ball rolling, alright? See you guys next time. Peace out.